So can these breakfast recipes that I'm about to share with you change the course of your family's life? Well, I really think they did for ours because they allowed us to have more coherence around three really important values for our family. Hi everybody, welcome back to Cooking with Corey here in Cloud Dojo. I'm Corey and this is your spot for inspiration on living a healthy, happy, and vibrant life.
So what values do these breakfasts help us align with?
Number one, freedom of time. So these recipes are actually pretty quick and simple to make, and I can make them ahead for like a month or more, freeze them. I can take them out a week at a time and they're ready to go in the morning. So it frees up our time in the morning, which is really important to our family. The second value is independence for our kids. They can just go into the fridge when they're ready in the morning. They don't have to wait for me to serve them. They can sit down and serve themselves breakfast. And then the third value is wellness. The reason these are really life-changing for us is because it was hard for me to find a breakfast recipe that I felt good about feeding the kids, that was really fast and convenient in the morning, and that they also would eat. All the recipes are going to be linked in a newsletter that I'm sending out soon. So if you want to get those, just go ahead and sign up in the link below and I will send them right to you. So without further ado, I want to share with you 3 different breakfast treat recipes that are packed with protein and I feel really good about feeding my kids. All right, the secret is really good quality nuts, beans, seeds. And by good quality, I mean like obviously you want to try low pesticide, but really you want to make sure that you break down your nuts, grains, seeds, all of that whenever you're cooking them, because they can actually be toxic to our bodies if they're not properly processed. When they are properly processed, they can be really great high protein plant-based foods. So what I did is I soaked a bunch of seeds and nuts and like beans. I didn't do any lentils this time, but that's another option, overnight. And actually you can soak them until they sprout. And that really helps to break down any compounds that can be toxic to our system. And then you drain off that water, add fresh water, and cook them again. So I have gone ahead and blended all of those up along with all the maple syrup and all the eggs that I need for all 3 recipes that I am making right now. Now this needs a little more blending because I just dumped everything into this pot, but I kind of dumped it in batches. So I'm going to blend this up. First thing I'm going to make is basically just straight from this batter with a little baking powder, and that is these blondies. Okay, so now what I've done is I've buttered this baking dish on the sides and put parchment paper down, and now I'm going to spoon out 1/3 of this mixture into here. Right. And I'm just going to sprinkle the baking powder on top and mix it in. This would probably be easier in a mixing bowl, but like I really just hate making more dishes dirty. I mean, this works. And that is our basic blondie recipe. It doesn't really look blonde because it's maple syrup, and actually I remember that I did part maple syrup and then maybe like 1/5 of the sweetener. I actually used blackstrap molasses to get the extra iron in there. But I am going to just, for fun this time, add in a few chocolate chips. And then on Mama's half, I'm going to put some pecans. Okay, this is going into the oven at 350, and because I made mine kind of thick, I think I'm gonna probably have to cook it for like 30 or 40 minutes. We'll see. If I had it like in more of a sheet pan situation, it would probably take less time to cook. So the next thing I'm going to do is make layered bars. So it's essentially the blondie base and then another layer on top. Okay, so to this messy food processor, I'm not even gonna wash it. It's been blending all these things. I'm gonna just add the top layer ingredients. So I'm adding in a bunch of shredded coconut and some chia seeds. and then 5 eggs. And some maple syrup. And I'm gonna add a little cinnamon to this as well. And then I'm just gonna blend it up. So I'm gonna bake this layer at 350 for about 15 to 20 minutes and then let it cool and then add the other layer. Last but not least is the chocolate cupcakes. They just really have some raw cacao added to the batter. You could use carob, you could use matcha powder, you could use freeze-dried raspberries. So this is going to get some baking soda and then some cacao powder. And then we just spoon it into the muffin tin. I will say that cupcakes are a little more labor intensive than just pouring things into like a cake tin or brownies. So if you want to, be really simple about it. Don't make cupcakes or cookies, just make everything bars and cakes and brownies. All right, everybody bring your weekend reset chart over here, please. These are going in at 350 for about 20 to 25 minutes.
Somehow I missed getting footage of these guys out of the oven. So this is just other things I've made in the past. I mean, it's so versatile. You can do brownies, you can do pumpkin bread, cookies. I think the key is just experiment with different recipes and find out what works for your family. But the game changer is these freeze ahead, easy to self-serve breakfasts that make the morning so much smoother.
All right, everyone, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I am so excited that I finally got to share these recipes with you, and I'm so excited that I have another huge batch for my family because it really has been such a game changer. So I hope it is for you too, and here is wishing you a healthy, happy, and vibrant week ahead. I'll see you next time in Cloud Dojo. Bye.